Can you hear us now?
Jeez Louise. No, it's not just you, Nicole.
Well, everybody just I hope nobody tries to listen back and realize it and thinks that like the whole thing is like yeah.
Oh well. C'est la
All right,
vie.
we're back.
C'est la vie.
So,
So we need to talk about Pokemon
yes.
because nobody heard it. Unless you're listening. No, captions wouldn't even work. Anyways, Ashley Hanvey.
Loud and clear.
Sorry. Ashley Hanvey turned us on to something today called Pokemon, and it's FOCUMON.com. Unfortunately, no app, but you can have it open in browser. It looks like it draws like visuals and ideas of like gaining XP from Pokemon with little animals, and you have to focus to evolve. And I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't understand it yet.
We're still learning.
We like it.
Yeah. So far, we're very interested.
Yes.
So
we will look at that. But our main topic today...
It's very accessible.
Yeah. That's kind of like a bonus little... Look what we found.
Yep.
Our main topic today is standardizing competition rules, which
yes.
Are we talking about all competitions? Or are we talking more model dog competitions?
Or you think
it can apply
general?
anywhere?
I think general all competitions. So
this is a good one you're in on, Nicole.
Yeah. So there was a post today. Emily Shannon posted asking if it was like frowned upon to find out what the judge prefers for competition.
There it is if you need it.
Oh.
It's not in your font. But...
So is it inappropriate to ask your judges what they prefer? For example, for creative model dog, I've had quite a few judges tell me they prefer the model to still look like a dog after being groomed. I prefer, however, to do what my heart desires. Nowhere in the rules does anyone put that the model still has to look like a dog, so
right.
Is it appropriate to ask the judges what they like/prefer?
Right.
Also, for live dogs, some judges prefer a V, while others prefer a soft U for the necks on poodles. So if it's okay to ask, when is it appropriate time to ask? So I thought that was a great question.
Yes.
So
Nicole wished us luck on standardizing contest rules.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about it.
Yeah. And I just so I've brought this up before, and actually this is part of why I don't like to compete anymore. I don't like that I can't, yes, they'll give you feedback, but I don't have like a
rubric to go back to.
Yeah, I can't go back to it. I can't look at it and be no, okay, this is what I have to work on for sure. I've heard competitors in ring ask the judge before we start.
What if it's a preference that completely altered? Well, yeah. That maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe it would only be like a little thing, like a neckline.
Yeah, but I had one competition where Addison actually, she placed second in freestyle, but I was told by the judge that they would have placed me in first if I hadn't left tassels on her ears.
Which is it's freestyle. You're allowed to do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. So and then that's the thing is
that's a good point.
The breed standard, we are starting to find I've started to see a lot in, they prefer certain styles, certain judges prefer certain styles. And there's no way to know exactly what you need to work on unless they're you need to work on your scissoring or you need to work on your prep. You don't really know fully what you need to work on. There's no I don't know. For me, my brain cannot just listen to that feedback.
Oh, did you get reasoning for that? Or did she just
I didn't get reasoning for that.
She just said she didn't like the tassels. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't answer to any of it.
Yeah. But so what I'm saying is it would be helpful and more accessible if we had a rubric. So ahead of time the rubric. My basis off of these rubrics is I twirled baton when I was younger, and when we twirled at competition. Yeah, I agree. So when we twirled at the competition, there was a rubric. And the way they did it is there was 3 judges, and those 3 judges each had a rubric, and they went through, and you basically, it was like each category was, you get a 1 through 5 rating.
Love it. On like different
or whatever point system they decided. I don't remember, but let's say it's 1 through 5. So there's, say, 5 categories. So like profile would probably be one.
I feel like prep, because
prep would probably be
perfectly
one.
Prepped, and then if there's like a tangle in the armpit, that's where you lose a point, and it can be very clear.
And so then you have those points for each category. And then there's also, so there's things that was like, no matter what, you get marked off for that. So I don't know necessarily if there'd be anything for grooming.
Yeah.
The thing that we had for that was they would count how many times we dropped the baton, and we'd get a half a point off for each drop.
Yeah.
So that was like an extra little category thing.
Apparently NDGA is doing that now for their practicals. Just reading more for people who can't see comments potentially. Shadowing judges to understand this. The problem I'm seeing is it's too broad. Okay.
Yeah.
So then it's like, where do you draw the line? Where does it get to? Where is the line drawn for a 3 versus a 4?
And that can be listed out on that. You can have it like, this is what constitutes as a 1. This is what constitutes as a 2. This is what constitutes as a 3.
Right. I mean, obviously a groom is different than like an essay.
Yeah.
But I feel like, and maybe it doesn't work out.
And then there was like a thing for notes, so they could write little notes like about things that they noticed.
Well, I guess that point would actually end up being kind of up to judge interpretation, like between a number, but you'd at least you'd know exactly.
Yeah. But then also those judges, like the way they did it, they had 3 judges, so they put those,
and they just averaged the scores.
They found the average of those scores
and went for that.
So there was never that issue of that. And it went very quickly because they were filling it out as we were doing it.
Yeah.
The only thing they had to do at the end was basically count up all the drops and do the math. And usually they would just count up all the drops, or no, they had like a tally of the drops, and then someone else would actually do all the math. They had assistants.
There you go. And then what I think about is for open, when it comes down to a hair in the toe or a hair behind the ear, who gets the 4 and who gets the 5, who breaks that tie.
But see, that's the thing, is you're making it more, if you're doing it as each dog is done, you're not comparing them to each other. We weren't being compared to each other. We were being compared who did the best. It was who did the best that day. We weren't being compared to each other.
So you have a chance of getting a tie for sure going this way. All judges would have to agree. Yeah.
And they would have tiebreakers for if there was a tie.
Interesting. And then maybe they get like a next step up rubric, like a super, or that they are.
Well, usually what they would do.
What if they both have one hair out of place? I guess at that point, like it's like I guess they'll figure it out. Maybe they'll go back on preference then. I don't know.
No, what I'm saying, so if you judge that dog just on that dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how would break the tie? What they would do there in the baton twirling competitions was they would have we'd each do it again one more time, and then they would
like the whole
judge
process.
Yeah, but they could probably both do the judging one more time.
Oh, like they do at shows.
Yeah, but more of like,
Okay. Interesting. Because I'm trying to think of like what sort of time like would. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's why
that
I was like,
wouldn't
hold
really
on,
work.
we
Yeah,
can't just be
but
like, here's another Westie,
maybe that's
go.
when you have like another set of judges that can come and be like and do the whole judging on that dog still again.
So I feel like it means we need more. So think, how big can some of these classes be?
Pretty big.
And I feel like I see what judges have told me is what's easier to fix.
Yeah, it's usually that's what I've been told too. But like that's also up to it can be kind of iffy because like what I can fix in 5 minutes is different than what you can fix in 5 minutes.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
But like,
kidding. I gotta stop being so bad. Well, according to me stats, Nicole has got the competition stats, those comp stats.
Can we just invite Nicole in to talk with us?
Hey Nicole, do you want to? Are you down for that? Do you want me to send you the Restream link and you can actually be here talking with us? About 12 per class / level, and the same
12
judge,
people per class.
Yeah, and the same judge is doing all the same like set of judges does all the classes, right? Like all the levels.
Usually, what they've been.
Oh,
okay,
sweet.
Let's
okay,
talk to her.
I'm messaging. Oh, you'll have to do it actually.
Okay.
Invite guests.
Invite guests.
The little copy. Yes, perfect. Go over to Messenger and shoot that over to her.
Okay. We're working on it.
We're getting it. Because then we can have like a real conversation with the level competitor. And
well, that's the thing too. Like that'll be helpful because like I've had this idea but like I don't know really how to help
puppy watch.
Implement this.
It's puppy watch. That's right. Gigi's first due date is tomorrow. Yeah. Ooh. My God, time has flown. Holy crap. So she'll pop up over here in gray and you'll have to toggle her on. And then we'll have to see if we can still see the comment overlay without like blocking her.
Okay.
And I imagine it'll be a dead second or two because she's leaving YouTube. So
yeah. So I think right now the way that they do it is so they have the entry, intermediate, and
oh, there she is.
Oh, there she is. Hold on.
Hello.
This button?
Yep, that button.
I just gotta find my Cocker Spaniel.
Cocker Spaniel.
Okay, sorry, I'm on puppy watch, so.
I know, I didn't even realize we're literally like tomorrow is her first due date.
Yeah, and she started shivering today at the salon, so we had to rush home and now just sitting and
waiting,
eating Cheetos and looking fantastic.
So hold on. Shush, you're beautiful. Okay, what did the X-ray say? You did an X-ray, right?
Oh yeah, so we have X-rays.
Is it 7?
We can clearly see. No, we didn't get 7. We can clearly see 3, maybe 4. Yeah, so that's where we're sitting.
Man, I was trying to manifest that so hard.
we were really trying.
I know it. She's gonna do it at like 2 a.m, and I was like, well, let me get a nap in, and then because she'll come wake me up usually when she's going into labor. Yeah. And I was like, wait, where's my puppy? I was like, because then, where you at? Son, Lennox. Oh, there you are. Okay. You doing something
Who's
sus?
Lennox?
He is a new family member.
Ooh. Oh, you know what? Actually, because I saw the pictures, right?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe at the salon.
He's so much bigger.
It wasn't like super announced. Yeah, so just puppies everywhere.
Yeah,
puppies.
Yeah. So so she's probably gonna go at 2 a.m. Oh, you were drinking a lot of water. That's what you were doing. That's disgusting.
Sounds fantastic. Good job, Gigi.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. And like Julio's in Montana, so like.
Oh no! So it's just you.
Yeah. So Katie's on call, and
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so she might be getting a really early call. So I was like, well, let me get a nap. And then I got a notification. So I turned on some YouTube, and then I got a notification. And I was like, oh, well, it's Thursday.
Oh,
of course.
So. Well, if you need to sleep, We understand.
No.
We're happy to have.
No, it's all good. I have all weekend to sleep.
When do you sleep anyway?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean sleep? What do you mean a nap? You don't need that.
Who sleeps?
So anyways, okay, let's get this going, because now that it's real time, it was already a good conversation, but like, let's talk. Where are we at?
Yeah.
So we got to explain how it works with the judges now, currently.
Yeah. So according to my judges, the way that they've explained it to me is, and these differ depending on what they feel is more important. So first is outline. You're supposed to have outline first. And then if you have outline, then it's balance.
Okay. Yeah.
I think outline and finish work are my two main ones, because I feel like those two are the two main that the judges tend to. Oh, you like drooled all over me. It's disgusting. Go lay down. So I feel like those are the two that most judges put importance to. So it's always outline, some other one that is never a problem for me, and then finish work. And those are the three like keys that you have to hit. Gotcha. Some judges put finish work above outline, and some judges put outline above finish work. Of course, in open, most of us we hit all three of those. And usually they're always like, oh, it came down to a hair. And then they always tell me, they're like, well, I went with what was easier to fix. So if you put a hole in the dog, you have to wait for it to grow out. You can't fix it.
Okay.
That.
I understand what you're saying now. I didn't understand when you commented, but now I'm understanding.
Yeah. So then, and then if my fix can be done in like 3 minutes, but yours can be done in 5 minutes, in their opinion, like if they feel like they could fix that in 5 minutes, and like if you had 5 extra minutes, you would have got it. Right. And if I had 3 extra minutes, I would have beat you. Then they would have given it to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it's been explained to me.
Where does coat growth and transformation factor play in?
I have been told that I do not get kudos for bringing in coat.
I don't understand why. I feel like that is a strong factor.
Well, I think difficulty in general should be a category.
Because if
I agree.
And that's what I'm saying with, if you have all these, so you have the categories,
something like that,
and they all are evenly judged versus like, oh, this is more important than this.
Right. And what I think what it comes down to is a lot of judges don't put importance to the amount of coat you're bringing in, because it's harder for me to have that picture perfect finish when I have more coat. And so picture perfect finish obviously is going to be blasted all over social media. Right. And so if people are like, well, the scissor work looks like shit to that. Well, we don't promote, like, we're not promoting like, hey, this person brought in 6 months worth of hair.
Like a mammoth, a woolly mammoth.
Right. And so, I don't know, my husband has suggested that we have buckets, and if you don't hit the bottom of a line of a bucket for your category, then you don't qualify for
hair that's trimmed off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love it, because we can't be just polishing and already basically done it.
Yeah. I mean, and the problem that I foresee, and I've done this, like I have tested this multiple times with brand new groomers. I have maintained the coats on a hand strip. Yeah. Maintained them over and over and over. Gone out, visited, maintained. Then I literally handed the dog to the person. I said, follow my lines, pull 20%. Yeah. They did that. They have hand stripped, I don't know, maybe 3 dogs in their entire life. They went into a competition in entry, hand stripped, took first place in entry, and placed in group and beat open people. Even though they had, because they didn't maintain the dog. All they had to do was pull a week's worth of hair off. Yeah. And so, because I told them,
it was an
just
easy
pull
job,
20%.
so they could make it perfect, because...
Right. All they had to do was follow what I already preset for them. And they just have to pull out 20%. And so that just goes to show you that anyone realistically with any kind of grooming skill can go in and dust something and make it pretty.
Yeah.
Like, however, when you walk in with 6 months worth of hair and you have no pattern already built into your dog,
right,
and you go to chop it in, okay, so the finished work might not be pristine, but you
did more work.
Yeah.
And like, I am not only showing that I can achieve the overall skill, but I also put that dog into a pattern that can be shown.
Yeah.
And in a freestyle, I feel like the majority of it should come in from balance, because like, it's
because there isn't like a standard to follow first.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a blueprint, essentially.
Yeah.
But you can still have the same kind. I mean, so
good question.
You have categories like, first of all, like, have it. I would definitely say like difficulty level.
Yeah. Then how do you decide that?
Well, that would have to be broken down more.
Okay.
I'm not saying like we leave it broad like that. You can have like it broken down to like, this is what each number means. And so you have like categories like that, and like prep, and like, did you write some down? I saw you making notes. I can't read that.
Oh, outline, finish work, balance, transformation factor. What is easier to fix?
Yeah. So all of those things could all be categories. And so then they're all evenly like judged, and it's showing your all around grooming ability versus, the dog.
I have a good question. Okay. So, you know how sometimes in some breeds with dog shows, flashier examples start to get shown or chosen, over breed standard. Do you find that happening in grooming competitions?
I mean, yes and no. I think, and I think it's just human nature to do it. Yeah. But when you have 230 breeds to memorize, right? You have standards to memorize. Granted, our competition list is much smaller, but when you have that many breeds to memorize, I think it's just in our nature. And I do this to my students too, because like when my judges find something, and we all have an area that we struggle with. And so when the judges come up to me and they know me and they've judged me for a while, they always go to the exact same spot and they're checking for that one thing that I always miss, because my brain just can't wrap it. Oh, I'm not gonna put it out there. I don't want other judges to know.
Okay, no worries. I'm just
I'm
sure you did.
So,
anyways,
it's usually my elbows. They always go straight for there, because they know that if there's gonna be a mat, that's where it's gonna be. Which, by the way, I have gotten really good at that, because I have help in the bathroom. But we always go to the exact same spot. And I noticed that at first it was frustrating as a competitor, because I was like, oh, why do they how do they always find that? I swear I do this every single time. Like, why is it not? And what I should have done is asked them, like, okay, how can I fix this? Like, why is this always happening to me? Right. And now that I'm when I teach, I notice I do the exact same thing to my students. Is I will go up to them and I know the rest of the dog looks fine. Yeah. I go to their main problem spot and I pick up an ear or, and then I'm like, oh, there's your hair. And it's slightly frustrating. So I think, when going back to your question, I think it's just human nature that when you have all of this to memorize, it's easier for us, especially when you come from a breed like, for example, I do Cocker Spaniels. So for me, it's easy to hyper focus on the problems we foresee in the or the problems we had in our own lines. Okay. So if you have a low tail set in your line, you're probably really going to fight against placing something that has a low tail set. because you know that in your brain that's what you were struggling with. And so I think with the flashier, what ends up happening, and the reason why I bring up low tail sets is because in cockers, we're getting what's called a terrier tail.
Oh.
Cocker spaniel tails are not supposed to sit straight up in the air. Yeah. They're supposed to come off the back at like a 1 o'clock ish.
Yeah.
But if you look at them, they're kind of starting to do this. Oh. And it's because we find like a judge was like, I'm having probably tail issues where it's either they're low or something like that. Yeah. And so they are going to hyper focus in the fact that we need better tails. Right. And so then they're going to ignore the rest of the faults because they're like, awesome tail. And and I think it's just human nature, because I notice I do it too when I'm like, this is the problem that I have in my girl that I want to change out. And so I tend to, when I pick dogs where I'm like, I would place that one, and that one, I tend to pick dogs that have that feature.
Counterbalance.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's just really just human nature. So in the competition world, if you struggled with rear angulation, a dog that comes in flashy with big rear angulation and the groomer doesn't have to work as hard to build it with hair, it's going to do better because they don't have to do as much. They don't have to use as much product. The judge can get the comb all the way through that hair because there's no product in there because the rear is over angulated. And then like same with giraffe necks and poodles, right? Like if you don't have a spray up and you're just doing a modern, like if I don't have to build up as much hair to give my dog this super elegant neck, then they're going to like, so if that was what I was struggling with before, if I had a stubby neck poodle and then not like I have the option to buy a new or get a new poodle, I'm probably going to find something that looks like a giraffe. And then all the judges are going to be like, wow, like it's beautiful. Like, look how much neck. Yeah. And it's just because they don't have to build up as much hair. Shorter hair stands better. You don't have to use as much product. So that's why the flat, I don't want to say flashier, but I would say the more extreme dogs do better in grooming competitions. It's just because we don't have to fight as much.
Okay. That's a really good answer. Well done. And I put you on the spot. So good job.
But that's why I think like standardizing would be good, because then you don't get that kind of like personal bias from the judges.
Yeah, I think you'll still have personal bias. And
there's no way to get it completely without any personal bias. But.
And the way unless like, okay, for example, I'd like, okay, on cockers, again, because that's my breed, it says that their top line is supposed to be slightly sloping.
Right.
What is slightly?
Yeah.
That's true.
It's not a ski slope. It shouldn't be a mountaintop. But it shouldn't be the state of Illinois, so I mean, so that means it can go from anywhere from here to here, and so it's like, what is slightly sloping? And so it's like, as a professional groomer, do I build up more hair in the shoulders to make it more extreme? Do I not build up the shoulders to make it more extreme? So it's like, and then a lot of people, where I live in a very flat land. So like, I can only imagine biking up something that's like this, right? Where it's just ever so slightly. And I'm like, oh man, that's a tough bike route, right? Whereas someone who lives in Tacoma might be like, this is a tough bike route. Yeah. This is slightly sloping because it's not this.
Because it's not like rock scramble.
So that's where it's like, that gets a little bit tricky as to what is personal preference. Now there are certain standards, like in the Westie, where the back jacket, it says back jacket should be 2 inches in length. And I've had judges tell me like, oh, it needs to be tighter, or, oh, this needs to be shorter.
You hold up a ruler and like the breed standard, like look.
Hold on. It is actually 2 1/4. So, But yeah, no, and I've had judges and they have told me that, and it's like, I can't do that to this dog because it shows. And
Right.
I have been present in dog shows where it was at a grooming competition the weekend before, and I went to go show it, and then the judge picked it up and asked, are you pulling this too tight, or is it growing like this?
Oh.
Yeah. And so then the judge has said that it needed more back coat. So like, I think, and again, like it could just be because they have handler friends. It's easier for handlers to shut down a terrier and then show it 3 weeks later and be like, gorgeous. Wow. But like that's still just not correct to the standard. So, and of course, you know, that judge came from terriers. He knows his standard very, very well. And so when he picked up my back coat, I was like, oh, note to self, don't show to this guy. All right, after a grooming competition, because in grooming competitions, I need to take my back jackets tighter. So I think, so it's, unless there's like a very specific measurement in the standard, we have to allow alleviation for, like, there will always be preference. There's no way to get around that.
Oh yeah. And I agree, because especially because like it's also an art. And so I get that, but I just think that we could have a little bit more standardization, and make it a little bit more accessible to people as well, because it's like so if you have this rubric and it's just numbers, like they can literally just like write their numbers after they, you know, as they're judging, and then they're basically done. They just hand it to someone to do the math. Like they might write whatever comments they have, but they don't have to write like huge comments if they don't want to either. But like that would also make the competition run smoother. And if you have multiple judges, you're getting a more average like score, so it's not just that one judge, like, because then it's just the one judge's opinion. But if you have 3 judges' opinions, it's averaged amongst
that's why I was looking at the number and doing the math. If we average about 12 dogs per level, then that's like what, 36 per competition, 36 total animals. You said 12 per class / level. So like in wire, between entry, intermediate, and open, an average of 36, or is that high?
For the whole class, that's pretty. Well, for wire, that's pretty high. Wire.
But for like poodles,
okay, we'll say poodles then. That's probably the biggest class.
Poodles, right? easily 15 per class, and I could probably take a look.
So we'll say 45. Then, because we're talking like 15 per level, so 15 entry, 15 intermediate, 15 open.
It's about 15 per class.
Okay, so
per level for poodles.
How many judges do you?
So what if they could have 3 judges, and all 3 judges judge all of those competitors?
Okay.
Now the problem that we have,
write the number.
The problem that we have is we don't have 3 judges for every competition.
Is that fixable though?
Typically we see the same set of judges.
So we need more judges.
Yeah. Well,
I imagine this is not a new problem, and I'm sitting here like spouting it off like it's some brand new idea.
No. I've sat down with groom team. I've with groom team board members, and I've addressed the problem. It's a tricky situation that I don't think can be remedied in like one sit down and fix.
I got you.
Because honestly, there's a lot of beef in competitions. Like, for the Euro competitions.
Yeah.
Because I was looking up the rules just to see like if I were to go and compete across the ocean, what do I expect? And so it was, I ran across the judges' rules. So the Euro grooming competition is I want to say, at least it appears by rule definition to be a lot more organized than ours.
Oh,
but but I think that's just because I'm like, how can I say this politely? I think that's just because our groom team board membership has a lot on their plate.
Right.
Because we have more groomers. We have more miles to cover. The United States is very big. And so a lot of times when we compare ourselves to like European countries,
right,
we have to remember that like their country is the size
like
of
the
one
size
of
of
our
a state.
states. Right. So they are like, I also calculate Canada's groom team points. And there's like 7 whole competitors. On our top 10 right now, I think we're listed at 22 like ranked.
Okay.
Competitors. And I'll double check. I'll make sure we got the right number here.
Check.
10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. We have 24 ranked competitors.
Okay.
That doesn't that's only, you only have 3 placements per class who are gaining points. So, and there are 7 whole competitors in Canada versus our like ranked competitors.
So the likelihood of people getting points there is better than here.
Right. Well, and then Canada can get points here as well.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I remember that. That kind of blew my mind.
So we can't get points there, but they can get points here.
It doesn't make sense.
So hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Again, I think the groom team board just has a lot on their plate.
Yeah.
I also think that the board is a little out of date. Just because, I mean, everyone is over 50.
Yeah.
And so it's like technology is probably not their strong suit.
Right.
Like I typically tend to have the points up faster than the board does. And one, I'm immersed in it. I'm at just about every single show, so I think we're having a few relativity connection problems and stuff like that. So, so I think the groom team board's just a little overwhelmed because I have brought up, I was like, why do we not have judge regulation like the Euro countries do?
Yeah.
So in Europe, you cannot judge a class if you do not have at least 3 gold placements in that class.
Ooh.
In the open level. So at the champion, well, for them, it's their championship level.
Yeah.
And I'm getting judged by people who have never ever competed in the class and or placed in the class. So like, why are they judging a class that they've never tried to grow and rotate coat for?
Right.
They've never,
so how can they truly understand and be the best?
Right. Because especially wire, because it's a tricky, like, for poodles and curly coats, you grow the hair, you chop it off, you don't really have to think too much about like, okay, if I pull this, it grows in about 4 days. So, and then the competition's this many weeks out. So I need to backtrack all of my, so that way I have the right rotation. But then I also have enough hair to pull, but then things are still growing. And, so it's like, so on.
Like there's more math in terriers.
Well, and sporting too, because sporting's the same way, because we still have rolled back jackets we have to think about.
Right.
So, and so it's just like, it makes perfect sense as to you need to place in the class that you intend to judge.
Right.
That would mean that we would need a record keeper to keep track of said placements. And groom team has told me they are only a point keeper. That is what their jobs are. And I was like, oh, okay. And then and when I had asked, I was like, well, AKC is also a point keeper.
Yeah.
But you still have to test to become a judge.
Right.
Like, why are they, why can we not implement the same rules? And they said something along the lines because they don't host the shows. Barkley does.
Okay.
But AKC also doesn't host the shows.
Right.
Clubs do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I'm not on the board. I can't say what's behind the curtain,
Right.
but I feel like we need to catch up a little bit. Like,
yeah.
And I maybe it's an ego thing that's getting in the way, and they just don't ask our Euro friends,
right.
Hey,
right.
How are you keeping track of all this?
Yeah.
What software are you guys using? You know, like, so, I mean, I, as a hobby, keep track of all the placements.
Right.
If someone wanted to be like, oh, did she really win in 2002? And like, I don't know.
Be like, right here. Here's the receipt
for you. You know, like, who won best in show?
Let me pull that up real quick.
Right. Yeah, I got that too. No worries.
It sounds like you would be the best person to compile the information for a fair compensation, of course, of who would technically be qualified to judge then, because I feel like you have the data.
Yeah.
Yes and no, not that far back. Because I mean, we're almost hitting 10 years. While I've been in the competition ring for 10 years, I've only been in open for, I mean, if you count 2020, I've only been in open for 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, I remember when things were done a little bit differently, like you got points from group placements, not open placements. And then they changed that. They shrank down the breed list. I remember when they did that. Yeah. So, but I mean, it's like when our judges were competing, I wasn't in the grooming field during that frame. So I'd have to base it off of like photos and stuff like that.
Yeah. Right. Sounds
but
like
I mean,
hobby sleuthing.
Because I don't have enough to do. I need to.
No. I figure you could just eat up some free time with that.
Yeah.
I mean, what is
eat my
that?
Cheetos, drink Pepsi, look up some stats, some old history stats. But I mean, Groom Team has to have those records somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, all the board members are 50 plus. You try and tell me they don't pack rat those papers, like, and they don't turn them in. They don't turn them in digitally. Like, I've seen the paperwork that they turn in. It's actual paper. Like,
so it's in a filing cabinet somewhere, probably. Somewhere.
It's somewhere.
They need to digitize it and get with the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
maybe.
Yeah, it's a tricky.
I just gotta say, cycling back to the rubric thing, how much that would help me, because I'm telling you right now, I would not be in the right headspace after a competition to receive critique.
Right.
I would.
That's also a
it would
thing
go
too.
In one ear and out the frickin' other.
I always had to have John come up actually and listen.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, like, I have a competition journal. I still keep it to this day. It's more so for my records than like, I'm at the point now where my critiques, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that though. I'm not going to do that. So, but it's mostly so then that way, because it's, as an artist, it is hard to sometimes to hear a critique. And this is coming from like art school. So, and because like, so when I went to art school and we did art projects, which these projects took 24 to 48 hours worth of work to complete.
So to be told wrong.
Yeah. And then your classmates, of course, like in art, there are certain sets of rules. And they always say, until you are Picasso, you have to follow the rules. So you have to know the rules to break the rules. Yeah. And so I've approached it the same way with my competition. I have to know the standard to break the standard. And so it's always been like, for any artist, it's always been hard. You put up your art in front of all of these people, and then in art school, your critique was written on a piece of paper. So it was words blatantly like in your face, and you read anywhere from 20 to 40 of them, right? Like, I don't like this. This is okay. This, and it wasn't a rubric because like, did you use enough red color?
Oh,
yeah. And so I think the reason why they had you put it on paper was because they even said, read them, put them in your envelope. We all had our envelopes, put them in an envelope, return them to them a week later. Put everything away, come back a week later and reread it. And that's what I've been doing with my journal. I write down the exact words. I try to keep all emotion out of it.
Okay.
Put down the exact words. If I need to, you can put your phone upside down on the record. So that way you can record what they say.
Right.
And then there's a lot of cool AI tools now that will put voice into text. So then that way, so if you have a hard time taking emotion out of it. And then 1 week later, after I just drowned in probably, 2 tons of dog hair and sleep-deprived week back at the salon for making up for all the time I took off, then I go back and I reread what the judge told me. And I pull up my pictures because it's a digital journal. So my pictures are right there next to it. And then I can be like, okay, yes, I see what the judge is talking about. This does look off. And I don't always agree. Like, there are things where I'll look back and I'll be like, okay, I see why they mentioned it, but their resolution to fix the problem is not what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to fix a different problem to make this look better.
Okay.
And so, are you dreaming? Wake up.
Oh.
Are you going to puke?
Lennox?
Yeah, hold on. Let me put him on the floor and not on my couch. There you go.
How old is he?
Almost 4 months old. Oh, false alarm. Okay, just kidding. We don't need to puke.
Baby. Oh my god.
I love babies. But yeah.
When I come back by, is he going to the salon?
Yeah, he's been to the salon every day since Tuesday.
Okay, because I need to come get some puppy snuggles.
He's a snuggler.
But like, time is about to go sideways for me, as it is for you, I'm sure.
Yeah. This week is going to be awful.
Yeah. I don't have a way down anyway right now. And then Super Zoo. And then All American. And then Stephenie and I go on that like freaking 10-day trip to
this
Florida.
Weekend we're going to...
This weekend... Oh, Nicole, we're going to be at the Greater Racine Kennel Club dog show thing.
Oh, shit. Is that this weekend?
Yes.
Yep.
Let's see if they have eye exams. Wait. No, I have puppies that are coming out.
Yeah, you have puppies.
Yeah.
They're going to pop out. I did see something about eye exams, though. But I don't know if it's like this time or if it was like later on the schedule. I just remember reading
They probably have eye exams. I probably just wrote it off because I was like, oh, I have puppies
like
this weekend.
It's not the right time. It's not good. Running away.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's see. Okay, if I take a trip to Racine, how many hours am I going to be out of the house?
Bring her with you. Just bring her with you. It'll be fine.
Puppies and all, get in the truck. I'll keep it nice and toasty.
Oh, man. But no, so we'll be there as a vendor, as the school.
Oh,
I am
awesome.
so excited to get to see some pretty dogs. Like, I am so stoked.
Yeah. So.
If I remember correctly, that's a nice little show area, too.
Yeah? I haven't been yet.
Yeah, me either.
Well, cool. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah, because I think it's only like what? It's like under a 2-hour drive. So for me, it's still in like my home.
Oh, yeah. It is not far from us at all. Let me see. There we go.
It's at
it's on 6 Mile Road, so it's not.
Well, no, they're having it at the Racine County Fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not what I looked up. Snap. Hold on. Where is that? Racine County Fairgrounds, Durand Avenue.
Yep.
Oh, do I know where this is? Okay, so it's a half hour west for us.
Okay. Yeah, this is like, I think it's due north for me. Like,
I think it's more in like Union Grove than like Racine.
I see. Okay.
So it's the county of Racine.
Is Racine in Racine County?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's let's see.
That's easy to remember.
I remember Looking it up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that is all still the same because that goes like really far in.
Yeah. It's a very big county.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, we're in like the northeast. No, just the east. Just kidding. The Racine Clendel Club is in the northeast. But still, anywho's. So,
anyways.
Have you had any interesting client interactions lately? Because we have one and they weren't even a client. Yeah. And I want to talk about it, but have you had anything crazy lately?
I feel like my whole life has been crazy.
Valid.
I had one client message me saying that their dog is limping, and I was like,
"Oh,
yeah." And they're like, "Did your employees mishandle her?"
Like no.
Is nope, it I'm the only one. No, it's the two schnoodle schnauzers things.
Oh, yes, I can't think of their names, but
yeah. Oh, I know their names.
I remember. Oh yeah, no, you're fine. We don't have to. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But no, I know who you're talking about because they were groomed like really close to when I was starting there. And yeah, okay. Anyways,
yeah. So I told them, I was like, well, they're like, we've done 3 weeks of pain meds, and so I asked, I was like, did you get an X-ray?
Oh
no, they didn't get an X-ray.
So how did they just gave them our vet sat free with pain meds?
I don't know. I did say, I was like, well, if you would like me to call your vet and talk to your vet about their visit, I will happily do so. And then I didn't hear anything back.
But like 3 weeks later, they're telling you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is that can't you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You might actually win, but mine this is still funny. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know this was a contest. Okay, hold on. I got more.
No. It doesn't have to be. So how did this interaction start? So all right. You were here when we talked about having Daisy, right? Stephenie's sister-in-law, how she's been receptioning and learning how to be like virtual receptionist and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we have our phone system Vonage. Go.
Yes. And right now Daisy is in South Carolina visiting my mother-in-law. So
she's not like available ASAP.
Yeah. So, but she's been like, there's like quiet times and stuff. So like
she like returns calls. And
at that time she sits down and returns phone calls. Well, this guy called and I don't answer the phone unless I know what the number is.
Yeah.
So like, that's why we have Daisy.
That's why Daisy is the best.
And he called a few times and didn't leave a message. And then he finally left a message and he was like, hi, this is
my dog Princess has an appointment today. I just need to know what time her appointment is. And we were like, did we just like totally mess up? Did we have a dog today? Yeah. We don't even have a Princess in the system.
And while we're doing this, also while we find this out, like we were in the middle of networking. We were going from like to different other businesses,
like other groomers, pet stores, doggy daycares, and just kind of like giving them materials, finding out about them, just getting a good.
So my phone is blowing up while we're driving.
Yeah.
But then Meg starts researching and looks through the call log and like everything.
He called 2 days ago, did not leave a voicemail. Calling multiple times today is now like, oh, Princess has an appointment today. Like, I need to know when Princess's appointment is.
And he mentions I think in the voicemail that he was something about the place across from the Little Caesars.
Or it was when Daisy first talked to him.
Okay.
But either way, he mentions we're not right across the street from a Little Caesars at all.
No. But there is one
5 minutes down the street.
Yeah, like 5 miles or 5 minutes down, but we are not.
It is not us.
So I was like, I know the name, like I kind of remembered the name when Meg was able to find it.
Yeah. Some like trainer wellness place also does grooming.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the only one it can be. It's like right there by the Little Caesars. That's who he is trying to call. And I think Daisy told him that.
Yeah. Daisy called and left a message and we didn't hear back for a while. And then all of a sudden, like in the afternoon, I start getting calls from him again.
Just over
again. He was not leaving a message. And then he left a message
where he's fussed, which I understand.
Oh yeah, and he was fussed
he was fussed
before
the whole
time he was fussed at me or at us. And so it was him saying, "Hey, I'm wondering what time I can pick up Princess."
Oh, we missed one because remember he said I called Tuesday and they said the groomer wouldn't be there, so that lady scheduled me an appointment on Thursday.
Yeah, that was
that wasn't us.
Yeah, that was one of his many calls at the beginning. So yeah, then so he's like I want to know when to pick up Princess,
I'll be there
and we're
at
like
4:30. Is that okay?
And I'm like, what?
Like, we don't have Princess. So he found the place, but just kept calling back the wrong number, and
I don't know.
Stephenie was like, "I'm calling him."
Yeah, I was so annoyed at that point that I actually called him back, and I was like, I tried to be as sweet as possible, and I'm like,
you did well.
Yeah,
and you were just like, "Look, this is the Meditative Groomer
Yeah.
Academy. Like, we are not across the street from the Little Caesars. We do not have Princess. We have no dogs here. We have no dogs on the schedule today. We're not working today." Like, and then his tone totally changed.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you happen to have that number? If not, I'll look it up." I'm like, "You need to save the number in your phone." Because they were getting really fussed because they're like, "I have an appointment. Stop telling. Can someone call me back and tell me when my appointment is?" I'm like, "We don't have it." Because I told Daisy too, because when we could tell from the first voicemail, like, he had an appointment. And I was like, I could have been a dick right there. And I could have been like, sure, have him come in, give him the address, here you go. But I'm not like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're not stealing this client. We're going to try to figure out where their appointment is and, go from there. And then after he got like super fussed in the second voicemail, I was like, you know what? I don't want the client anyway. So like, no. But then he ended up okay. I think he was just like really confused, but it was a very interesting afternoon.
It was.
Because we're like, what? Like, what's he going to do? Show up to like locked doors, lights off, no movement, nothing happening. And then will he finally understand he's calling the wrong person? But anyway, so yeah, I think
that was our day today.
I think you win.
Yeah.
Because ours ended up being nice. And we have
I don't want to win.
Okay.
Well, too bad.
Can I wait? Can we go back? I take back my story. It never happened. I want to lose. I want to lose that story.
Hold on. Here you go.
Oh,
what?
Oh, I have the door open. Oh, I'm gonna.
Is it Turkey?
Nope, Turkey is right here being an angel.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear the name. Hi, Turkey.
Hi, Turkey.
Turkey there.
Turkey there.
You gonna see your friends?
Hello. Oh,
you see your friends?
Look at her. Oh,
there's your friends.
Oh, Turkey.
Turkey there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's
so yeah. So I might still win, mostly because of how much I might die.
Wait, are we on a dying competition?
Somebody called in, and I don't know if I don't know if Daisy ended up calling her back, and she didn't end up calling back. She had to check on the price. A 180-pound 9-year-old Newfie. And I was like, all right, we have a floor shower, so the dog doesn't even have to go up a ramp. I'm going to dry them right there on the floor. I'm going to groom them on the floor. I am not... Sorry, sirens. I am not going to be able to move afterwards, but maybe because I've been doing yoga and stretching, I've been doing a lot better on like overall pain. So maybe it'll be fine, but I'm like, that would be the dog that would kill me. Because that dog is not standing up for the groom.
Oh, I know.
No.
She even said, my old man.
We closed up shop like 2 years ago. I don't even know how I'm still calling on this number. I had this phone number disconnected.
Well, I did kind of a happy price, something that I felt was like worth it to kill myself for.
$1 billion.
No, but just as like radical for the area, I feel I said starting at $250.
It's very radical for the area.
Because $85 for a small dog, which is what I charge here, is also radical for the area. Not if you think about what they're getting with the one-on-one sort of thing.
And you just got to find your customers.
I have to find it's going to be people a little closer to Milwaukee, I feel. Maybe. Either
never
way,
know.
I don't know.
either way.
I feel like they're driving to all the Milwaukee people are driving out to me. I'm like, why are you driving out this way? There's got to be groomers between here and Milwaukee.
Right.
Hi.
Oh, there definitely are.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Well, and too, like either way, so I felt like 250 starting was good because I knew I'd be on the ground. I knew it'd probably be like a 4-hour freaking appointment.
That was the
It'll pay
only
for your
dog you could do for the
chiropractor.
day.
What'd you say?
It'll pay for your chiropractor.
Exactly. Like, I'm not going to schedule another dog. And actually, she wanted Tuesday, which would have been funny because Tuesday is likely the last day I will groom because we're going to leave Wednesday afternoon. I haven't decided if I want to play my cards and try to do a dog Wednesday morning and then watch them not pick up and then it messes up as leaving. So I'm like, maybe not Wednesday at all on the 21st. So she wanted Tuesday the 20th. Oh, so she still has time. She still has time.
She still has
That's
time.
still like a whole week away. I don't want her to book. Trying to explain this to Daisy was the best thing because I was like, I don't want to groom that dog. And she was like, okay, I'll tell him that. I'm like, no. I don't want to groom that dog, but I will groom that dog. What was that sound? Was that you?
What's
Did you
that?
hear that? That was like a Mario. Was it that? Did that make any noise?
Oh,
Did you do something?
something happened.
Session time limit reached.
Oh, I guess I'm done.
Oh, the Pokemon or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
interesting.
like, wait, are you kicked off?
No,
Bye.
I pay for this. We pay for this. This is something that we could be on here forever. We're not going to do that because it is like 9 o'clock, which I know is really early for you.
Huh?
I was saying, oh, well, it is like 9 o'clock. So we've successfully done this for over an hour, even though I know that's early for you. And I could talk forever. And it's been fabulous seeing your face and hearing your voice.
Do you still have to
talk.
finish this presentation, though?
But we do have a presentation that is being given at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So we need to work on that because we are making it fantastical.
Oh, fun.
I've been like really upping my presentation designing skills. I'm like super excited. Making it fit my brain.
We're megafying is what we're calling it.
Presentations.
Got it.
It's a verb now.
Get the megaphone.
Yep.
Megaphone. But thank you. This was fantastic. And
no. It was much easier than typing.
Yeah. No, real time.
Maybe you should just join us from now on.
No obligation, but if you're capable and willing, we're happy.
Next Thursday, I will not.
I don't think we'll be doing it.
I don't think we'll be doing it because I'll be still at the show. I think.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 hours. No, is it 1 hour or 2 hours?
I think it's 2. I think it's 2.
I'm gonna be so dead on Thursday that.
Okay. What's happening? Oh, you're gonna be setting up Pet Store.
I'm gonna be setting up Pet Store Direct.
Okay.
At All American.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're working the booth all weekend.
I'll be there for breakdown.
Thank God.
I will be flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So my flight, I leave Vegas before 7 a.m, landing in Chicago a little before 1, and I just have to figure out how I'm getting myself from the Chicago airport to the convention center. That's like my last piece. Besides Super Zoo, I need to figure out how to get from the airport to the hotel.
And Uber is really easy. Because that's what I have.
Yes. Objectively, yes. Getting into a stranger's car is a huge task for me. It's a huge hurdle.
Yeah, I mean, I will have
done it.
When do you land?
I will be landing in Vegas or Chicago.
Chicago.
I'm landing like right before, like maybe 12:45 or so. So like 1:15, 1:30 would probably be.
Yeah, no, I'll be in the ring.
Yeah, no, you're good. And like Stephenie's gonna be like stuck at the booth, but I'm gonna figure it out. It's gonna be fine. Worst case, I will just do an Uber and start. Well, it's not starting my day in a chaotic state because I'm also gonna have to fly. It's just gonna be a bad day. I'm just gonna be like in fight or flight all day long, I think.
Yeah,
but it'll be fine. Then I can sleep, and then Sunday will be great. And I don't think I miss team dinner if they do it on Saturdays all the time. So
Yeah.
I'll get food, and that'll help.
Yes, that will definitely help.
Yeah.
I'll say because I land at like 12:09 in the morning.
In the morning?
Yeah, on Thursday. Well, technically it's Friday. Technically, I land on Friday in the morning, and then I get up.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I'm on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll be in the ring. I'll definitely be in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a turkey. It's a turkey.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's I'm 7 points away from the bottom. So.
Oh shit.
So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna deliver puppies. Oh no! Is that a red? Is that a cherry eye?
Huh? You good?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just puppy doing puppy things.
Yes.
So
you're gonna deliver puppies. Go to Super Zoo.
Yeah, I'm gonna deliver puppies. She's gonna do it on the weekend and not during the week.
Yep.
Because then I fly out on Tuesday.
Yep.
I fly back. Technically, I leave on Thursday. I land on Friday.
Okay.
And then I compete Friday, Saturday.
And then you can just like go implode somewhere.
I can go what? Mm-hmm.
Implode.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, implode, depending on your preference, you know.
Yeah. And then Sunday, I will be doing demos at the guide booth. If you want critiques on your comp dogs, if any of you are competing and you want critiques on your comp dogs, come find me a guide.
Nice. I was going to say, feel free. I don't know. We don't have anybody here, but
I got permission to wear my shirt on Sunday.
Ooh, for Eleanor. So a local, she's what,
17? One of my previous students.
And one of the students, she competed in creative at All-American 2 years ago at 15 years old.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember
she
that.
She did the Freddie Mercury on poodle. Yeah. And she's competing this year with her own poodle now. And there are shirts to support her. So I got permission to wear it at the booth. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, it's my student. I must support her.
Right?
Are you competing in anything, Stephenie?
Nope.
Pet Store Direct has got their tenterhooks.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean,
I like it.
I really like working that booth.
Yeah.
So
I have 2 dogs growling over here.
I hear that. Yeah. Do you need something to say? Do you need some time? Do you want the floor? Who is growling?
She's growling. He's whining.
Aww.
We gotta get going though.
Yep. No, we gotta get going so we can work. But
yeah, I gotta go clean up, pee, and So next Thursday I can't because I'll be unless I have really good Wi-Fi, which I probably won't because I'll be.
Honestly, we're probably skipping the live stream next week because I'm gonna be in Vegas. Stephenie's gonna be dead. You might, so
I'll be on plane.
So we might not even do it.
Yeah, let's just plan preemptively not to do it.
Okay, and then the following one we'll be traveling,
but we'll be
at a hotel by then, and it'll be no problem.
Yeah,
and I'll just be cuddling 2-week-old puppies.
No, I'm so jealous.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, have a fabulous night.
You too, and you.
I hope it's not 2 a.m.
Me too. If she wakes me up at 6, that'd be fantastic.
I'm gonna just keep manifesting 7, except now it's 7 a.m.
7 a.m. We can do a 7 a.m.
7. Come on, Jeej. Hold them in, baby. But anyways, okay. I will talk to you soon, and we will see everybody else in 2 weeks.
Yep.
2 weeks, guys.
Yep.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.